Let me tell you something elected officials probably shouldn't say out loud. Sometimes we're tired of you. Now, before you get mad at me, let me say something. I love serving the people of Newark. It was one of the greatest honors of my life, but here's what most voters never see. For 8 years, I routinely worked 7 days a week. I took one 4-day vacation in 8 years. There were periods when I had almost no time for family and friends. My dating life? Forget about it. But there were times when I was simply exhausted. So today, let me tell you a few things elected officials wish voters understood about public service. First, being an elected official is rarely a 9-to-5 job, especially in local government. When I served on Newark City Council, my day didn't end when I left City Hall. Sometimes that's when the real work actually started. I could attend as many as 15 community meetings in a week. And then there were regular city council meetings and special hearings and committee meetings, speaking engagements, meetings with business and community organizations, reviewing legislation, drafting legislation, budget hearings, and somehow you still had to find time to actually talk to the people you represented. And I took that part very seriously. I even made house calls. If a constituent had a serious problem and circumstances warranted it, I would often go to their homes if they just scheduled it. Because local government isn't theoretical. Someone's trash didn't get picked up. There's an abandoned property next door. A street light isn't working. There's speeding on the block. Someone can't get an answer from a city department or 4311 number. And here's something voters should understand. Every problem is personal to the person experiencing it. It may be the 20th complaint you've received that day, but to that constituent, it's their first call. And they expect you to care and make time. They should. But carrying hundreds of people's problems, thousands of people's problems with you can become exhausting. Your phone keeps ringing. People stop you in the supermarket. They see you at church or getting your hair cut, at dinner, at community events, at those dates that I mentioned before. And sometimes they have your home phone number or your cell phone. There really isn't an off button. And then there's another part people don't always think about. You have to run for re-election. And while you're trying to govern, you're also trying to keep your job. And that means raising money. That means attending political events, building an organization, knocking on doors, making phone calls, and explaining to voters why they should give you another 4 years. So you're governing and campaigning at the same time. And those two things don't always work well together. Because sometimes good governing requires making an unpopular decision. But campaigning rewards popularity. And that's one of the tensions every elected official eventually faces. Now, I want to be clear about something. Nobody forced me to run for office. I chose it. And I was incredibly fortunate that the people of Newark gave me the opportunity to serve. So this isn't about asking anyone to feel sorry for elected officials. No, on the contrary, public service is a privilege. But public servants are also people. They have spouses, children, parents, friends. They get tired. They miss birthdays. They miss dinners. They worry. And sometimes they wonder whether they're giving so much to the public that there's nothing left for the people they love. And I certainly had moments like that. My father had moments like that. So what do elected officials wish voters knew? Probably this. We can't fix everything. We can't attend everything. We can't return every phone call immediately. And sometimes the answer to your request is going to be no. But you should absolutely expect us to listen. You should expect us to work, and you should expect honesty, and you should expect elected officials to remember that the office belongs to you and not them. But maybe we can also remember something else. Democracy works better when elected officials see constituents as people, and constituents remember that elected officials are people too. Now, I wouldn't trade my 8 years of public service. It changed me. It taught me about government, leadership, my community, and myself. But it also taught me that public service, when you're really doing it, isn't about having a title. It's about accepting a responsibility that follows you home. This is Rice and Reason. The thoughts of a former elected official, law school graduate, and current husband, father, and advocate sharing practical insights on politics, culture, education, faith, and leadership. Subscribe to this channel, like and share the content, and remember to think, it ain't illegal yet.